8-1 last night as we move into money-making weekend. Oh yeah, let's do this, boys and girls. Hey there, what's going on, everybody? It's Friday. That's right, you can do your weekend dance because it is Friday, and just in a few hours, you guys will be sipping on that cocktail and enjoying your weekend as we get in some great sporting action on the heels of some great sporting action last night. We absolutely crushed it last night. 8-1. How about that? It felt like. Did it feel like one of those nights was coming to you guys? Kind of been limping along. We've had profit, though, on 2 straight days leading up into last night, but we didn't have really that great record-wise. To me, it felt like a good 8-1 night was coming, and that's exactly what happened. You guys remember we're betting those NBA first quarter trends? Well, how about 3-1 on those first quarter trends? We got both of those unders to hit, under 51.5, and that Wizards Heat, and then we got under 55.5, and that Spurs versus Wolves, and then our overs, we got one of the 2 to hit. We did get over in the Raptors Jazz. We missed over in Clippers versus Grizz by the hook. We needed 55 points and there were 54 points scored. So that's all it was. We were 1 point away from sweeping the entire card last night. And that one's just a little frustrating because the number closed at 53.5. So obviously if you got 53.5, then you got a good cash and you did go 9-0 last night. More times than not though, line movement is always going to move in our favor. So it's not going to do us, an advantage over the long haul to wait and bet the closing line because we bet numbers and yeah, they just normally move in our favor. That one didn't quite do it, but hey, fantastic night. Fantastic right there. We also rolled that into the NBA player props going 4-0. And how about large in part, no sweats. Only one was a sweat. Very rarely will you bet 4 player props and only have to walk away with 1 sweat. Zubac wasn't a sweat, over 9.5 points. He got 9 in the first quarter, cashed that one got 9 in the first quarter, cashed it early in the second quarter. My man right there came through for us. Siakam under 18.5 points, only had 2 at halftime. 2 at halftime. I think he ended the game with 4 or 6 points, so an easy under. Normally unders make you sweat and work for it. Not last night with Siakam. That one was nice and easy. And about Jokic, up over 26.5 points. A nice first half cash. Dominated those 76ers like we thought from that center position. Had himself an absolute night. So got right there. Our only sweat was Adebayo, over 19.5 points. Got his very late in the fourth quarter. Did he get his 20th point with maybe a minute or 2 to get in the game, but that's exactly what he did. He's got that 20th point. And then rounding it out with Patriots minus 5.5. I looked at the box score and hope you guys didn't do a lot of player props because I think it would have been really tough to cash in player props. Gage did cash though. Talked about Gage on yesterday's show, although I said Gage on yesterday's show, and clearly I meant Gallman, who was the backup running back there to Patterson. Gage was obviously a wide receiver, so I misspoke, wrote it down on my notes wrong, got the G's mixed up. But Gage would have gone ahead and cashed it. If you just kind of went off what I said accidentally and bet Gage, you would have gotten a cash. But Patriots just dominated the Falcons, easily covered minus 5.5. Never in doubt. Falcons couldn't do shit. And what were they doing? Just running the ball. Like they had a hard-on for running the ball. Just stop running the ball. The Patriots were letting you run it on first down and get the second and third and long, let you throw it underneath, come up and make the tackle and force a punt. I mean, the Falcons were so predictable in what they were calling. It was predictable in what the Patriots were doing. Just a terrible performance by the Falcons. Another great showing there by the Patriots and covering that minus 5.5 spread. So a fantastic night last night, 8-1 and plus 6.56 units. As always, guys, I'm always pumped that you guys are putting money in your pocket. Go ahead and hit this like button. Hey, I gave you guys 8 winners yesterday. I have 9 picks. If you were part of any of those 8 winners, go ahead and hit this like button if we move in now into money-making weekend. Strap on, boys. We've had 3 straight days of profit. We're hitting our stride just in time for money-making weekend. Let's set up some action and let's go do this. With that being said, we need some bets if we're going to go ahead and make some money this weekend. Let's go ahead and start with NBA. Let's go ahead and start with the bet that you don't need to wait for me to go ahead and tell you. It's Blake Griffin. They're playing tonight, and it's the fade Blake Griffin train. Now 8-2 fading Blake Griffin on the season. Somebody actually commented on my Twitter comment or my Twitter tweet thing, whatever these things are called. that he's actually 12-2 on cashing his unders on the season. We've obviously only been a part of 8 of those 10, or 8 of those, 14, whatever it is. We're 8-2 fading Blake Griffin, and not going to stop anytime soon. We're on a hell of a roll fading Blake Griffin, so it's under 7.5 points. Finally, we're not getting juice. Yesterday we got it, or not yesterday, 2 days ago we got it at plus money. What the hell are you doing getting Blake Griffin under whatever his point total is at plus money? That was ridiculous. Yeah, you got a little bit of juice today. It's only at minus 105, so no big deal, basically at even money. So yeah, Blake Griffin under 7.5 points. We're never going to get 8.5 again, folks. You're definitely never going to get 9.5. And I don't think we're going to get 8.5 again for a while. We knew 7.5 was going to come. It's happened now 2 games in a row. Let's see if we can't get another cash fading Blake Griffin under 7.5 points. The next player prop we want to go ahead and do is do Domantas Sabonis over 16.5 points at minus 115. Obviously, this is the power forward here for the Pacers. He's going up against the Hornets. Hornets struggling defending the power forward position, allowing 25.1 points on 50.4 field goal percentage and 12.5 rebounds per game. One of the worst in defending that power forward position. Played the Hornets earlier on the season, got 33 points. They can easily go up under 16.5 points. So we'll go ahead and bet Sabonis accordingly at minus 115. One more I want to go ahead and put on your radars is Nicholas Batum. You guys remember from a couple of nights ago, this is the Clippers player right here, that we almost took him in a positive way. We were going to tail Nicholas Batum. He had an absolutely fantastic matchup. Can't quite remember now who the opponent was, but I told you guys kind of put it on your radar. We did not end up pulling the trigger because we mentioned here on the show that his game logs just suggest that he rarely goes over. And that's what put me off, was the game log, is even though he had a good matchup, the guy just doesn't go over his point total that often. Well, in that good matchup, he finished the game with 0 points. 0 points. He's got a tough matchup going up against the Pelicans, which rank in the top 10 defending his position. So I'm going to look to fade Nicholas Batum if we get his number. I would have done it his last game, but he sat out the game with an Achilles injury, so we didn't get the opportunity in his last start. Hopefully he goes ahead and plays today. Would love to fade Nicholas Batum. I'm wondering if maybe, and wanting to tail this guy, holding off correctly and holding off, and not tailing him, but maybe we undiscovered this could be Blake Griffin 2.0. I mean, a good matchup. We got 0 points. Could Nicholas Batum be Blake Griffin 2.0? Let's see if he plays tonight. Let's see if the sportsbooks give us his over-under, and if so, we'll be fading Nicholas Batum there of the Clippers. All right, so those are the 3 player props we're definitely doing. We're definitely doing Blake Griffin. We're definitely doing Sabonis, and we're definitely doing Nicholas Batum if it's given to us. A couple of maybes, go ahead and put on your radar. Luguentz Dort, yeah, I want to go ahead and fade him again. Remember, we faded him in his last start. Didn't work out well for us, but the fact of the matter is he's got, a really tough matchup. The Bucks are in the top 5 in defending the small forward position. They only allow 15.4 points per game on 26.7 field goal percentage. That's what I love right there, the very low field goal percentage. So maybe we'll go ahead and fade Luguentz Dort. His over-under right now is at 15.5. Just haven't pulled the trigger on it. Just a little bit undecided, getting burned last time, but I don't let getting burned deter me off of a good bet. This is a good bet. I'll likely pull it, but let's see if I go ahead and do it. Just follow me on Twitter. And then the other one I want to go ahead and maybe do is tail Harrison Barnes. Fantastic scorer here for the Sacramento Kings. Got a dream matchup here going on against the Raptors. Let's see what the number is. We don't have the number at his at all, but we're looking to maybe possibly tail Harrison Barnes today on his point total. All right, so 3 NBA player props we're definitely doing. 2 possibilities right there. Let's go now move it over to our NBA first quarter bets that we like. All right, and again, the only analysis I'll give you is we're betting trends. That's all we're doing around here, is they're betting trends here in the first quarter. The first one we want to go ahead and do is do Pacers, Hornets, Pacers plus 1.5 points at minus 130. Pacers have the league best 11-4 record overall against the spread. They're 6-3 on the road with a plus 3.11 points differential. Hornets, meanwhile, they're the league worst at 4-11 against the spread, 2-4 at home, and a negative 7.5 point differential in that first quarter. Go ahead and give me those Pacers, and I'll gladly take the 1.5 at minus 130. The next one we want to go ahead and do is Clippers, Pelicans over 52.5 points at minus 115. Overall, these teams are 14-15 cash in the over, but we like that the Pelicans are 5-2 at home. Their games are averaging 57 points. The Clippers are 2-2 on the road, but their games are also averaging 57 points. So give me Clippers, Pelicans over 52.5 points at minus 115. Staying with this same game, Clippers, Pelicans, I want Pelicans plus 1.5 points at minus 125. The Pelicans are 9-7 overall covering the spread, 2-5 at home, but their point differential is plus 0.43. Clippers, meanwhile, are 6-8 28-1 overall covering the spread in the first quarter, 1-3-1 on the road, and their point differential is -6. So that's what we like right here. Maybe we don't have the sexy records, but we get the Pelicans with a plus point differential, Clippers with a way negative point differential. Give me the Pelicans and give me plus 1.5 points at -125. Two more to go ahead and put on your radar. We don't have the number, so I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger, but I like the Nuggets possibly covering a spread. This one I will only bet if it's -0.5. So basically Nuggets to win the first quarter. Their point differential in that first quarter is at plus 4.5 points. Bulls is at plus 1.43. So you can see both teams are relatively good in the first quarter. Nuggets are 6-2 at home. Bulls are 3-4 on the road. This one, though, has got to be at just 0.5. I just want to say, can the Nuggets win the first quarter? Tell me what the juice is on that, and maybe I'll pull a trigger. And on that same game, I would like possibly the under in that game. Overall, these teams are 17-11. Cash in the under. The Nuggets are 6-2 at home with an average of 51 points. Bulls are 5-3 on the road with also an average of 51 points. So let's see what the number comes in at. If it comes in at 54... maybe 53, go ahead and maybe take the under. I'd feel a lot better at 54, but let's see what the number comes in at. But those are two possibilities to go ahead and put on your radar right there. All right, let's go ahead now and get into those NFL bets. And this is going to be recapping the bets I gave you yesterday and then just talking about those player props that I essentially gave you, but now we've got actual numbers to go with the analysis that I went ahead and gave you yesterday. A lot of you guys have already bet this. I've already been talking to a lot of you guys on Twitter because I essentially gave you these bets yesterday. Again, we just didn't have the number. Now we've got the numbers. Let's run through this NFL recap. We're going Packers on that money line at -115. We're doing the Bills -2.5, parlaying that with Titans money line at -139. We're going Ravens money line, 49ers money line parlay at +101. And now let's go ahead and jump in onto these player props. We're doing Uzomah over 28.5 yards at -110. Najee Harris over 81.5 rush yards at -115. Myles Gaskins rushing plus receiving yards. It's a combo bet. It's one bet at over 73.5 yards at -115. Dawson Knox over 35.5 yards at -115. Mike Gesicki over 52.5 yards at -115. And Dalton Schultz over 46.5 yards at -115. One note on all those player props, got them all at DraftKings. You can get all those numbers at DraftKings, but Dalton Schultz, I do know FanDuel has posted a lower number. It's at 45.5. So get all those at DraftKings, but Dalton Schultz, go jump over to FanDuel. You can get his number at 45.5. So 1 yard less. We know that can certainly matter in the long run. So go ahead and grab him over FanDuel. Otherwise, yeah, all those other ones. And no analysis on those player props. We literally talked about all those players yesterday and why we liked them. The only one that we talked about yesterday that we haven't bet yet is James Conner. Waiting to see what James Conner's number comes in at. And remember, we only want his receiving number. Only want his receiving number going up against that really poor Seahawks defense, again, in terms of defending that running back position from a receiving standpoint. So waiting on James Conner's number. And I guess technically Dan Arnold's number is posted. It's at 43.5. Just waiting to see if I have the confidence to go ahead and pull it. We talked about how he's got a tough matchup against the 49ers. We are 5-1 on the season betting Dan Arnold. Let's see how these bets kind of go Friday, Saturday. May dip into the Dan Arnold market. His number is up. I just don't have the full confidence to go ahead and back Dan Arnold quite yet this week. But once all the money starts pouring in this weekend for money-making weekend, yeah, probably go ahead and back Dan Arnold. All right, so those are our NBA bets. Those are our NFL bets. Let's go ahead and end the show now with our soccer bets. And I had a good time on Between the Posts. It was only myself. Unfortunately, Matt was unable to join me. We had some scheduling conflict issues, but I still enjoyed talking. Obviously, I was by myself. It wasn't as fun without Matt, obviously, but I still had a good time talking Premier League. It's a sport and a league that I absolutely love, my favorite. And I had a good time. So let's go ahead now and reveal our Premier League bets, and let's cash some Premier League bets. Let's get back to our winning ways there in soccer. We're doing Tottenham Leeds under 2.5 at +110. Man City to score in both halves at -145. Manchester United to score in both halves at +124. Leicester Chelsea under 2.5 at -116. Take a double chance parlay of Southampton and Villa at -116. And then I want to do something extra with you guys. And if you follow me on the NBC Sports Predictor app, you guys know I put together a video where I upload a video where you try and predict 5 Premier League games every single weekend. You give them a result and a score, and you accumulate points. I'd say you win money, but it's really brutal. I mean, I have hit a jackpot, but not like the big jackpot, just done well enough to place. But anyways, where I'm going with this is I've been doing for the last few weeks hitting a correct score every single week. I mean, just been hitting one every single week. So I thought I would try something this week. You know what? I'm on a nice little heater, at least correctly predicting one game on that app on the correct score. There's 5 games. I put 0.2 units on each. 0.2 units on each for a total of 1 unit. So if we lose all 5 of these, okay, I'll be down 1 unit. Not going to do 1 unit on each and be down 5 units. I'm not going to do anything that crazy. So 0.2 units on each for a total of 1 unit, and we just need one of these correct scores to hit to pull in a profit. What are the 5 games? It's Southampton. I predicted 2-0 on that app. You can get that one at plus 1,000, 2-0. Manchester City, I predicted 3-0. You can get that one at plus 600. West Ham, I'm going 2-1. You can get that one at plus 950. Liverpool 3-1 win, you can get that at plus 1,000. And Tottenham Leeds 1-1 draw, you can get that at plus 750. I got the Southampton Man City one. Both of those were at FanDuel. And I got the remaining 3, the West Ham, Tottenham, and Liverpool one, all at DraftKings is where you can get those odds. So top 2 at FanDuel, bottom 3 are over at DraftKings. Let's see if we can just get one of these to hit. Like I said, I've been on a really, really good run of at least every week getting one correct score. Just need one to pull a little profit. And I thought this would be a little bit of fun. Put a little unit out there and see if we can't correctly predict one of these Premier League games this weekend for a correct score. All right, guys, that's the show today. That is Friday's show. That's how we're going to do it on Money Making Weekend. Of course, make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. May add some more soccer bets. You got Bayern Munich in action today. I'm struggling to find a bet with Bayern Munich today. We've always talked about how they're tough to bet because of their odds are always crazy high. I haven't found one that either I feel comfortable with the value or I feel comfortable with the bet based on the odds. So we'll see. Maybe we'll just go ahead and get a bet on Bayern. Always the weekend action. Then you got more NBA action, and of course we got all of our risk-free opportunities on PointsBet and DraftKings and FanDuel. They give us all these fun risk-free opportunities over the course of the weekend. So just make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. 8-1 last night. Hit that like button. Let me know you cashed last night, and let me know you're going to be a part of Money Making Weekend with me here as we roll out some NBA, NFL, and Premier League action to put money up in your pocket. Guys, go enjoy your weekend. We'll come back and we'll see you on Monday. We'll count it all up. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.